Welcome back to OACRL Round 7 here at the Hungaroring, as qualifying is done and dusted. So we'll see where the three drivers we have this evening sit. Same format per normal, 2 20 minutes races. We've had 30 minutes free practice, 15 of qualifying, and now we jump in for 2 races here this evening. And I guess while we've got time, the Hungaroring Grand Prix circuit, 4.381 kilometers long. The Hungaroring holds the distinction of the first venue for Formula One, behind the former Iron Curtain having hosted top-level racing since the 1986. So this has done quite a lot here as we now wait for the max wait time to start the first race. While the circuit may have originally been built for Formula One, today it also hosts a diverse range of other big name events, including the FIA World Touring Car Cup, European Le Mans Championship, as European Truck Racing Championship. And that is the session done and dusted here as we wait for the what? Okay, that's
20 seconds.
My game's being a bit of an
10 seconds.
Okay. My game's just crashed. That is lovely. What? Oh my god, I think we've managed to get the game to, you know, do game stuff. There we go, as we've got 2 of our drivers out the pits, as I think Lord Bill does have to cross the line first. And they have got the green light, and away they go, as we've got Lord Bill and Dig Josh out together. Now, quarter 1 could be interesting. I know it's interesting in terms of F1. Dig Josh does choose to stay behind Lord Bill. Looks like he thought about making a move on the inside. It's also the first race, first corner, first lap, first race here. And this track, I think, will reward some patience because it's very twisty, very turny. But yeah, it could be quite nice if they can keep it close together and not check out, as we do have Noah Huni out on track now. So we do have all 3 of our drivers for race 1. Coming up into corner, Dick just runs a bit wide. The chicane, which is corner 6 and corner 7 on the track. Then through this a little wobbly bit, not quite sure. It's the next few corners now coming down, keeping it very close together despite Dick Josh running a bit wide earlier on. And coming down into the corner 12, then this is corner 12A, that little blip, and then through to the double hairpin. Now, it may not look like what you picture a traditional hairpin, but when you're driving corners like these, it certainly feels like it. And it's basically called a double hairpin, depending, of course, what car you take around, whether it be a Formula 1 car, Formula 2, etc. GT3s, I think we're racing here. As they get ready to head lap 2 here. So the laps are taking almost 2 minutes. It will slowly get faster and faster as the session does go on, but we should get at least 10 laps here as Dig Josh and Lord Bill are still keeping it close together, both with very different models and styles of car. Lord Bill being in that Mercedes AMG and Dig Josh being in that McLaren. Keeping it very close together. We'll see when and if they do swap positions now coming in to corner 12 and 12A before that double hairpin. Dig Josh constantly looking for a move and trying to be that ever-present threat in Lord Bill's rear view mirrors. Going up the inside does slide out a bit there, touches the grass. That wouldn't take him too nicely, so he'll line up a move again in the next few laps or so, as long as Lord Bill keeps it with off the grass, and so does Dig Josh. As it looks like Lord Bill is trying to pull that gap out a bit further here. Dig Josh trying to do his best to catch back up. I've seen Lord Bill before. When Lord Bill's in front, he just can check out. And we'll just have to see what happens if he slips up, if Dig Josh slips up again, if we have any thrills, any spills. Fastest lap of the race currently is to Lord Bill. We've got Noah Huney coming around now through that chicane. Doing it quite nicely as we go back to the little battle for the P1 position. Dig Josh having basically lined that move up. Might take another lap for it to get done though. You'd want to send it up the inside, but make sure the gap is close enough that you can without damaging yourself, your car, the person's car you are battling. So we'll just have to wait and see as they head down that main straight into that corner one yet again. Coming around through there, coming into sector 2 now. Lord Bill, it looks like Dig Josh does have the fastest lap of the race at the moment with a 1:47.402, so we are seeing those lap times drastically get quicker and quicker as I guess the tyres warm up and the guys, although they've had practice, get in the groove of the race. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dig Josh makes a move this lap or next lap, as they are currently having a very nice, close battle. as they're coming down through this whatever corner they are, going around up into that next sector. Game's doing all sorts of funny things, heading down now into corner 12 and 12A, according to my track map I've got up. Coming around into the double hairpin. Does Josh go up the inside? No, he doesn't. Being very patient and hanging on the back and hanging on to the back of Lord Bill and keeping it a very, very tight gap, as the fastest lap is currently Lord Bill with a 1:47.340, as Jim Josh is still being an ever-present threat to Lord Bill. If Lord Bill ever so dares to slip up, touch the grass, lose traction, have a deep corner, Dick Josh is ready and waiting to pounce and take that position here this evening. And we are now at the halfway point of this race, with Lord Bill still keeping Big Josh behind them as they come through that double hairpin yet again. Big Josh thinks about it, doesn't, tucks back behind Lord Bill. And we'll see, does he make the move up here? No, he does not. So I wonder when and if we will see that move, or that move trying to be made by Dig Josh here, as they're about to cross the line to finish their 6th lap of racing and to start their 7th lap here. As they're coming around, neither one willing to give up that fight very easily. And the next time they come around, we shall sit in silence and watch them as they take a little hydration break, because it is important to stay hydrated. Coming up now, getting ready to head up into that final sector, about to cross into it. Lord Bill runs wide using that curb, but that doesn't seem to slow him down. Coming now into corner 12 and through that double hairpin again, where we saw Dig Josh try to make a move very early on, but he seems to have dropped back a little bit from Lord Bill. Perhaps touched the grass, but we'll have to wait and see if Dig Josh can get the move done before the race is over. Now coming up through that final corner and heading down that main straight. Now they're coming through that corner 1 again. Lord Bill still having the fastest lap. As we see Lord Bill checking out to dig Josh. It'll be interesting to know what happened there. As No Uni still trucking around in that Ford. Very nice livery though. Coming up through that double hairpin now. As all the drivers have sort of checked out from each other. Now he's coming across the line to finish his 8th lap. Lord Butchers heads through that chicane by Dig Josh. So Dig Josh had run a really good race until something happened to him, as we have under 5 minutes to go for the first race here this evening. As he comes up around through that double hairpin to head across on his next lap. And I want to say, oh no, Huni runs a bit wide there on the exit of that chicane. I want to say, if when Lord Bill finishes this lap, I think the next lap will be his final lap. So maybe 11, I guessed about 10 laps of racing, and I was correct. We'll get about 11, I think. We'll wait and see as Lord Bill is checked out to dig Josh. Then No Huni, who did start from the pits, not quite sure what was up there. As we watch him now come through that double hairpin. Coming now across that line into corner number 1. Seeing the cars do runs pit deep through that corner. That's all right. As now as Lord Bill is coming through that double hairpin, so we'll get another lap. I misjudged probably by about 15 seconds, which isn't all too bad, all things considered. So we will get 12 laps of racing action here. So we'll still probably have about 12 in that second race as well. As we can see the angle coming through that chicane via Noah, coming through corner 1. Yep, that chicane, look, it looks a bit steep when you're sitting at this angle. And of course the engine is a lot louder when you're also sitting at that angle, because inside the car you're, well, closer to that engine. As now No Huni's coming through that all too familiar double hairpin. The first one being a lot tighter than the second, but you still have to be careful on the exit no matter what sort of car you're driving. GT2s, GT3s, Formula cars. So you don't want to turn too early and smack it into that pit wall. But most drivers do not do that. So now Huni is out on his next lap. Lord Bill now getting ready to finish Sector 2. Coming now through that double hairpin. The timing of this is quite tight, but he will get, and we will hear that radio message and that notification pop up that the leader is on his final lap.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
And there we go. I think Dig Josh just makes it, but I'm not sure if it's when time goes out or when that leader does cross the line. No, Huni now coming through that chicane. Coming around, in through corner, heading down now into corner 10. And coming out to corner 11 and then blasting it down one of the straights into corner 12. He must have not had the best of starts. Coming around into the double hairpin now. Runs it a bit wide on the exit here. But will come and cross the line. Whether he'll get another lap though. And I think he might get another lap because he's finished in front of the leader. Lord Bill now coming into sector 12. Now through that first hairpin, and now coming up to that second, though the second doesn't look like much of a hairpin from that track map. And will cross the line and win the first out of 2 races. With Dig Josh not too far behind. And we'll see if the drivers get up to any shenanigans post-race. So we've seen them get up to shenanigans of sorts. As there we go, as I say that, Lord Bill is doing donuts, or trying to do donuts, and whacked the back of his car on that barrier. But they're all... Now Dig Josh is now having his turn at doing donuts, as they wait for Noah to cross the line. A bit of glitching there, could be just from my end. As we now wait for Noah to finish. He's now coming up through that double hairpin. Now in through that final corner for that final time of race 1, obviously. Then across the line. And that is the first session all done and dusted as we wait for the second session to start.
Seconds. 10 seconds.
As we watch him get ready coming through that hairpin for that rolling start. Lord Bill in control of that start as we now wait to go green. And we'll see if the action changes changes now, as we do have all 3 of our drivers doing that rolling start. Green light, as we'll see if we get any chaos or spins turn 1. Going side by side. Oh, Heaney right there. But they all seem to... They all slot in right behind each other for that corner 1. But They're both being ever-present threats in all of each other's mirrors, really. Which is always nice to see some close driving. As we now come up. Whoa, what? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Holy. Anyway, we're back after that thing, as we've seen Noah Heaney drop back a bit from the rest of the pack, as Lord Bill and Dig Josh are having a scrap at it again here this evening. As we're now coming up a round across the line for their first lap of racing. Lord Bill was the fastest lap of the race, was also the first to cross the line after the race start, so that does actually make some sense. As they're coming into corner 1A and then heading into corner 2, which isn't quite an hairpin. It does have a lot less of a steeper exit, as they now go through corner 3 and up this little mini straight. As we've watched him come through that chicane, or keeping it clean and nice through there as well. It's always lovely to see. As we'll see if Dig Josh can line up that move on Lord Bill, or will he not? Or will he not be? Will he get it done this race, or will he not? I guess we will have to wait and see. Now coming around, having headed through there, Dig Josh trying to catch up to Lord Bill, who is starting to do his thing and just start pulling away and trying to check out into next week in the opening stages of race 2. As I say that gap is still about 7/10, maybe 6/10 depending on corners and exit speeds. But we will just have to sit and wait, as Lord Bill has the fastest lap of the race with a 1:47.932 at this moment in time. Coming around into that all too familiar double hairpin. Now, having gone through Sector 1 again, and the fastest lap of the race is still with the Lordville. Sorry, though that car made it very hard to see for a minute's time, as he is now pulling that gap. It's about 9/10 now. Oh! And Lordville spins. That's not going to be very good, as Josh just zooms past. Lordville waits for Noah Huney to go past. And will he reset? Go back to the garage? We'll just wait and see. As that's an unexpected wrench. As I think it's yellow flags? I'm not quite sure. I think though it's yellow at the top, so I think it is yellow flags. Oh, Lordville's back. Driven around. And we'll grab back on. For some reason, whatever, in this angle you can see the racing line. As we now go through, Dig Josh will see what the racing line looks through here. Keeps it very nice, runs, following it very nicely through here. Cutting it very fine though. But runs it wide, uses that curb on the exit, and is off on his merry way, now leading that race. Unexpectedly, Noah Huney in P2 and Lordville all the way back down into position number 3, and he still does have the fastest lap, so we'll see if he can make up any ground in this race. Lordville now coming around that hairpin. Dig Josh already going through that chicane, getting ready to finish Sector 2 and start Sector 3. So that spin has put Lordville a long way back. I think over a minute behind Dig Josh, so that's Lordville's race done and dusted, really. So he's already got about 36 seconds to catch up to 26 seconds to catch up, 25 now to catch up to Noah Huney, with the race almost being halfway over as we watch Noah Huney and now Dig Josh come through that double hairpin, and he crossed the line to get ready to start another lap of racing. Coming around now into sector number 2. Coming through that hairpin yet again,
Not over yet.
as we have now officially reached the halfway point in the race. And I wonder how close the leader is going to cut it to start their final lap. Whether we'll see it again being about 5 seconds, or will we see it more about the minute? We will just have to wait and see. Dig Josh heading through. That auto slides out the back there a little bit, but keeps control of that car. Coming up into the second hairpin and the last corner. as we do watch him come down into corner 1. Seems like he did have a nice corner 1 there. Got Noah Huni now coming around and getting ready to head into corner 1 himself. And does it well. Uses that curb on that exit. Lordville now getting ready to head into that final corner. With the holding the fastest lap of the race so far with the 1:26.965. Maybe perhaps a too deep there on the entry to corner 1. Now coming down. Nick Josh coming through that chicane yet again. Noah Huni coming around up wet. Lordville did have that unfortunate little spin. Now coming up to that chicane himself. Dig Josh now heading up into the final hairpin, and what I will do when Noah Huni comes across the line again, we'll sit on board inside the car with him for a lap and see what he can do and what it looks like from his perspective, whether he's using cockpit cam or a different camera. He's now coming through that double hairpin. Lordville trying to catch up, has to close that gap a bit, but I think it's a little too late for that one. As we watch Noah Huni come through that final corner and down the main straight.
leader is on final lap now. The leader has finished the race.